Hi Pisces, I hope you guys are doing great today. I'm going to be doing a second deep love read for September, and the reason is because we do have the Sun entering Libra, which is the partnership sign, on September 22nd. It's going to be in there for about 4 weeks and going into the Mercury retrograde in Scorpio. So we're going to have the Sun shining brightly, this relationship Sun, this partnership Sun, on a certain part of our chart. So I thought two things. One, let's address what part of the chart it's shining in for you, right, for each of the signs, as well as, mentioning everybody's kind of feeling like they're on the precipice of something when it comes to relationships. Either on the precipice of releasing something, the precipice of getting into something, the precipice of needing to fix something. It's everybody's kind of feeling the shift pretty unanimously. Even if you've been in a relationship for 30 years, right, there's always this element of ebb and flow within relationships. So I thought, why not, throw in a read. I'm really feeling it very strongly for like the last 10 days-ish of September. I'm going to be dealing with the Mercury retrograde in Scorpio in a separate video because there's just too much to discuss on that. I'll do one of the, where my face will be on it. It won't just be my hands, where we just talk about astrology. But so anyway, you guys have this Libra Sun. It's all about your 8th house, Pisces. And to me, the 8th house is the most important relationship house because it's besides the house that it's, it's ruled by Pluto. It's a Scorpio house. It's ruled by Pluto. It's about, the house of transformation and all of that. But it's about how we show up with others. So it's about other people's money, other people's communication, other people's intimacy, other people, how we blend with other people. It's not a me energy, it's very much a we energy, right? So you're going to have the sun shining brightly on there. So just know that if Pisces, your sun, if you know your chart and do you have any stelliums hanging out in your 8th house? Do you have any other kind of, and any kind of transits that were going on in your natal chart that you might be experiencing now? These are going to be seriously highlighted right now. So you're going to be pushed to really look at something, but you're going to have nurturing energy, very supportive, beautiful energy to look at some stuff right now. So let's pull a Wisdom of the Oracle to get a crowning energy for you. And then we're going to go into just pulling some cards, right? I'm not going to do a single question this read, and I'm not doing the Lenormand. We're just going to stick with the good old-fashioned tarot. Let's see what we get for our Pisces friends. Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, higher power, beautiful. What a great energy to get for you guys, right? Our Pisces, the most spiritual house, the 12th house. So this, first of all, this is a very, very spiritual, obviously, right? The higher power, but, having to do with relationships. This card showing up indicates that there's a very deep spiritual bond between you and another person who is very essential to your growth and evolution in this life, Pisces. So you really need to take care of your spiritual connection here and remain aware of your true nature. So even if you're not with this person, something needs tending to with this emotional connection. Is it cluttered with bitterness, anger, hurt, resentment? Even if you guys are not in connection right now, if you guys are in connection, are there issues that are going on that really need addressing here? Because this is very much a karmic soulmate energy, believe it or not. Like, lots of lessons here, Pisces, and I'm sure I'm preaching to the choir here. I'm sure if you're resonating with what I'm saying right now, you know all of this. So it's time to identify the lessons and what is being pushed in you to look at right now, especially towards this end of September, because as I said, we're going to be feeling pushed, very pushed, right? So let's pull, I'm going to be pulling a bunch of cards for the energy coming into this time. So the energy coming into this time, into the end of September, would obviously be right now, right? I'm pulling this, I think, on, what's today's date? I want to say it's the 13th or 14th. So this first row, top and bottom, is probably going to be where you're at right now. Energy is very fluid though, right? This could have happened already, or it might be happening in the future, but that's the way we discuss. We have the 2 of Cups and the 7 of Cups, and we have the 9 of Cups and the 3 of Cups coming into this energy. Current energy for this end of September is going to be, we have the King of Wands, Temperance, 7 of Wands. These are going to be a couple of further challenges. 3 of Pentacles, 6 of Wands, Justice, the Hermit, and then the outcome energy. We have The Six of Swords, the Nine of Pentacles, the Hierophant, and the Nine of Swords. Okay. So let's talk about these. Let's get right into it. We have the Two of Cups and the Seven of Cups. Yeah. So we have the Two of Cups is all about romantic love, partnership, proposal, marriage, but you're very confused about something here, you know, because you have too many choices, or you may be realizing, Pisces, that while you really want love, either you or another person has some sort of commitment issue. There's something is going on here where the commitment isn't able to gel or materialize or synthesize in some way. And we have the Three of Cups, which is all about celebration and being happy together. A lot of times this is also like a very much a healing energy after having gone through something. So you may be in a space where you're hanging out with your friends right now, you're just trying to kind of like get yourself together, but this could also be like a very like a celebration vibe, right, where you feel very supported in an area. And then we have the Nine of Cups. So the Nine of Cups is about wishes coming true, material abundance, really great health. It's a great energy. I mean, no question. It's Jupiter and Pisces. Jupiter expands whatever it's in, right? So it's expanding in you guys, right? Plus Jupiter is your modern ruler is Neptune, but your classical ruler is also Jupiter. So we have this very profound energy getting in touch with what it is that you really want, right? Because this is about wish fulfillment. So you're very focused on your wish fulfillment. You're very focused on feeling support in a way where you're able to attain your wish fulfillment. So connecting this with the Two of Cups, you very much have in your mind's eye exactly what it is that you want for yourself, Pisces. There's no question. You know, like whatever it is, the house, the white picket fence, the dog, the kids, whatever it is, or not that. Let's say no kids and traveling and whatever it is for you. But I see you very much in this space of wanting this for yourself. But having the Seven of Cups here does indicate that, again, the commitment issues, but having choices. So trying to, maybe in your mind's eye, you can envision what it is that you want, but there might be this situation where you're either dealing with a person or even a part of yourself where even though you know what you want, you may be having a hard time finding somebody to go on that journey with you. So this is obviously very relevant for those Pisces who are single. Obviously, this could be indicative of the space that you're in. If you're in this space in a relationship, it's like you know what you want with the relationship. You want all of these things, right? You love this person. You want to have that deep level of commitment. You want to have that wish fulfillment, but you're sort of sensing this change that's going on because the Seven of Cups is a Venus and Scorpio energy. So there's like some change, something that's going on, some sort of transformation that's going on. And you just don't know all of the moving pieces, right? You know what's in Five of the Cups, you don't know what's in Two. So, I mean, this is the most important energy that we need to look at right now. You know what's in Five, you don't know what's in Two. So, and this could be like, do I want to bother because I really don't know everything, or somebody else feeling that way. Like, I'm just not sure what this means. Feeling the change. Now, keeping it real, for some of you who are single, this could just mean maybe you're single because you have commitment issues, but you really want to be involved with somebody, but you're going to give it a go anyway. It's not, the Seven of Cups is not a bad energy. It just is an energy of confusion, and it can indicate commitment issues, either of you or somebody that you want to get involved with. So coming into the end of the month, we have the Page of Cups and the King of Wands. So Page of Cups, this is about a new love. This is a new approach to love. And then we have the King of Wands. The King of Wands, beautiful energy, Cancer and Leo energy. So not only is this about attraction and this about feeling very motivated and motivated to kind of move forward in something, but it's something that you feel like is going to bring you the stability that you really, really want, right? This is somebody who's very courageous in relationship, somebody who's really charming, you're very sexually attracted to this person. And then we have the Page. And the Page can indicate a new cycle. Okay, so it's not an ace, it's a page, right? So this could indicate somebody sharing their emotions with you that you've been with before, right? But in a different way, and you guys figuring things out in a way where you're able to move forward. Now that's going to resonate with some of you. Others of you are going to be meeting somebody brand new, okay? Brand new. But either way, I do sense for Pisces who, I feel like right now, right now. I'm speaking to two sets of Pisces, singles, and I feel like I'm speaking to people who are maybe in a space where you need to either, like, you know how relationships have an ebb and flow, maybe you're together, you're not together, or you're together, but maybe you're in a bad cycle. It feels like there's going to be the sort of turning of a page for you guys, and there's going to be a lot more motivation. And I feel like the issue is that of security, that of home, having something to do with home. So it could be what is necessary to feel secure, whether it's commitment, communication, whatever it is, an actual physical home, whatever it is, because it's got that Cancer energy attached to it. But what I like is that there is going to be a motivation. Now we have the seven of Wands energy. So the Seven of Wands energy is a Mars and Leo energy. This is about needing to draw a line in the sand. I mean, keeping it real, it is, right? This is going to be a thing here where you're going to be experiencing feelings very defensive of yourself, protecting yourself against any kind of rivalrous energy. So the rivalrous energy could even be either another, like a third party kind of situation, or it could certainly be against your partner, because unfortunately, even in relationships, there could be a lot of rivalry, right, within relationships. Especially relationships that are pretty long-standing, and depending on the placements in each of your charts, there could be this kind of rivalrous element. But regardless, that's neither here nor there. There is going to be this idea of you feeling the need to protect yourself, and you're going to have to lay down, like, this is what I want, need, and desire, and I don't want to have to defend myself over it. We got Temperance. So Temperance is about creating harmony, balance, having patience, having self-control, exercising moderation in how you communicate. This is really a beautiful alchemical card about cooperation. What do you need? What do they need? What does the relationship need? And even though you're going to be exercising what it is that you really want, need, and desire, and they may be, you just have to be careful to not let ego get in the way here. Like, keep it healthy. There's nothing wrong with ego. We all have a healthy ego, but you don't want to make the whole thing based on what you want, need, and desire, which is really not a Pisces thing, but I'm going to throw that out there because I don't know what else you have in your chart where your Leo might be hanging out. There's always that. Or you might be experiencing this with somebody else. The energies can always be vice versa in these tarot readings, especially on a general platform like this. But that's what I'm vibing is going to be. The issue is trying to temper and figure out what everybody wants, needs, and desires in the relationship in order for you to be able to have this new relationship be successful, and for you guys to have this strong foundation there. Now the challenges, this is the next are the challenges here. So we have the Six of Wands, which is about success, and Three of Pentacles, which is about building. So the Three of Pentacles is a Mars and Capricorn energy, and this is all about collaborative teamwork and trying to make something work. So figuring out together, the pragmatics of the relationship. An example of that, in the earlier stages are like shared time. You're doing everything at one person's house. Is one person always taking care of things? Is the communication one-sided, or is it equal? Are you guys doing it together? If it's a little later on in the relationship, are we going to live together? Are we not? Are we going to do this? Are we not? Where are we going to live? Are we going to do this together, right? It's that collaborative effort. It's having that, Mars is that warrior in there who's ready, willing, and able to put in the work. But this is in your challenge position. The challenge position is a feeling like you're going to be able to really build and be successful with this energy that you're thinking about. So this is what I see here. This is about victory, recognition, good news, success, something coming in. So feeling like you can have success in building with an energy that maybe you're dealing with. Maybe you're not in communication with them, or they're in your life right now, or you're struggling with this right now in your current relationship. And this is working with the Hermit and the Justice. So these are two major arcanas, but let's talk about this. The Justice is a Libra energy, right? This is where the sun is going to be shining, and it's going to be all about the Justice energy, right? In your 8th house of how do you show up with other? How giving are you? How are you with money and communication and intimacy? This is the Justice is all about cause and effect. It's a really good way of looking at it. You know, what you give, you're probably going to get a version of that back, or at least a response to that back, right? I mean, this is how it works, right? But this is about trying to incite a win-win solution, but this is part of your struggle. This is part of your challenge. Your challenge is the truth coming out. Justice is about the truth coming out. So I do feel like for some of you, and now for some of you, this is not for all of you, I'm going to give a couple of interpretations. I feel like some of you are the Hermit energy, which the Hermit energy is all about taking that mental space and that clarity to go within and to really do some deep thinking for clarity, a quest for personal truth and for spiritual illumination, because this energy here, the truth card, the justice card, is all about truth coming out. And so you're doing some deep soul searching here. Now we're going to go back to the higher power, which is really saying, like, what is being pushed in you to look at? Because this is your challenge right now, Pisces. That's, you know, where you need to have some sort of truth about what it is within you. Now, this could certainly be your partner who's dealing with this, or this could just simply be you recognize it. The truth coming out doesn't have to be all big and scary and all of that, but it might just be like, where might you get in your own way, you know, in relationship, or what might you not be wanting to admit to yourself about your partner, right? It could really show itself in a number of ways, but those are your challenges here. And now the outcome, we have the Six of Swords and the Nine of Pentacles. So the Six of Swords is really a necessary transition here. Some of you may be relocating. Some of you may be moving. This can be quite literal, right? And we're going to put that with the Nine of Pentacles, just keeping like with that understanding. The Nine of Pentacles is about luxury and about financial gain and you know, solo pleasures and self-sufficiency and all of that. So some of you, as the outcome, it might be like, you know what, I want to be by myself. I want to be by myself. I'm just going to move away and be by myself. And some of you may just be in that mindset. Okay. For others of you, the Six of Swords is, again, this necessary transition. It's a minor arcana. So this can be for those of you who are in weird space and you're not in connection right now, but you hope to reconnect. This could indicate leaving the toxicity behind, transitioning away from that to a healthier energy, right? Because then we go to back to the Nine of Pentacles again. This really is about bringing yourself what it is that you need. The Nine of Pentacles is a Venus and Virgo energy. So Venus is about self-value, self-love, and Virgo is about very pragmatic and practical energy. Like, what do you need to be happy, Pisces? Like, what do you need? And a very like nuts and bolts kind of approach. And getting in touch with that. And owning it, owning what you need. What do you need? Do you need somebody to call you 5 times a day, 3 times a day? Every 3 days? Like, what works for you? What kind of communication do you need? What do you need in the way of intimacy, right? But I see you getting in touch with this. It's like making the decision to leave some sort of toxicity behind. And this toxicity could simply be a way that you have approached relationship up to this point, or it could be leaving a toxic relationship, a toxic energy. For those of you who are single, this could just be understanding like how I've been, making myself single, closing myself off from people, doing all of that. No, that's not healthy for me to live. That's not good for me. I'm really gonna get honest with myself about keeping it real. What do I really need in relationship in this Nine of Pentacles energy? But it's working with this card of anxiety. I mean, the Nine of Swords is a 3 a.m. card. It's anxiety, it's depression, it's ruminating thoughts, you know? It's tough. This is a Mars and Gemini energy. It's a warrior energy in your thought process, saying, what do you have to look at, Pisces, to put yourself on the right path? That's truly what it is. Because guys, whenever we have Mars, so I always say in my videos, Mars gets a bad rap. You know, because Mars is the warrior planet. Yes, you know, all about war, rah, rah, whatever. But what's beautiful about Mars is Mars never wants to keep us in a place that's not meant for us. That's why the Mars in astrology is connected to tarot, the Tower in tarot. Because the Tower, and what is the Tower energy? The Tower energy is illumination of something that doesn't belong on our path anymore. It's not meant for us. So Mars comes in and says, come on, we got to go. So Mars right in here with the Nine of Swords is getting into your head, into your thoughts, into your psyche and saying, all right, what you've been doing, Pisces, you really need to get very clear with yourself. Have you been allowing yourself to be exposed to energies that are not good for you? Are you closing yourself off from energies that are good for you, and why? And really looking at these things and getting deep with it. You know, that really is the Nine of Swords energy. And then we have the Hierophant energy, which is all about traditions and conventions and expectations and conformity. So are you struggling to conform to something? Are you struggling to conform to what somebody needs for you? Are you struggling to conform to a type of relationship that somebody you care about wants to have with you, but you just feel like you can't have? Or are you really wanting something that's traditional and something that you have expectations to have something conventional and somebody who's solid and trustworthy, but they just aren't able to show up for you? And this is creating a lot of anxiety. It's like the emotions are there for the person, but the person's not able to show up in the 3D in the way that you really need them to. So this could be a play as well. Now, for those of you who are single, your struggle may be in this, where you don't want to be alone. You want to be in relationship. You know you need people, right? Being that 12th house energy, it's very easy for you to be alone, right? I mean, it's not a hardship for you. And so, I mean, even it's not to say that you don't get lonely, but you enjoy that alone time, right? Swimming in your own emotions and spirituality and your beauty, right? It was such a beautiful energy and so spiritual, that 12th house. But you know that hanging out there too long is not healthy for you. But yet it's like, some of you are going to resonate with this, where you want to get back out there, but you're energetically attached to somebody from the past. Some of you are going to want to get out there, but like energetically, you don't know if you could do it. You don't know if you could show up in a way that people are going to want you to show up in relationship. You know, if you really want to go through it. Maybe you've just been hurt in the past and you just don't know if you have the gumption for it. But that's what I see. I see you getting in touch with what it is that you want, need, and desire, right? But just not sure if you can actually have all of that follow through. Now, for those of you who are in relationship right now, I do feel, because I'm sure many Pisces are married happily for many, many years, but you might be in a little weird space, right? And I do, just having this Hermit energy with the Justice, I do feel like there's something that you're being made to look at, right? Right now within your relationship that might not be entirely comfortable, or it's not that it might not be uncomfortable, you might not have complete clarity, okay, to a situation that's going on. But the outcome, we have the Hierophant is also honoring the sacred in your marriage and honoring the sacred in your relationship, but you're having a lot of anxiety about this. You're having a hard time. You're in a state of depression as you're trying to do this. So you're trying to honor the sacred, but at the same time, there are things going on within this dynamic that are challenging you in an incredible way to actually do that. And I see that being a thing at the end of the month. So let's see. Let's keep moving and pull some oracles with we'll pull some oracles with some tarot. Let's just throw these and see what we need to look at. So we have Cancer, which is that 4th house of home, security, feeling grounded, feeling rooted. We have the South Node. The South Node is all about, it's in Sagittarius right now, so it's about dealing with this moral code, moral compass, belief system. What do you believe? Ultimately for yourself. But I do want to say that Sagittarius is also the South Node of the moon right now, which is whatever you absolutely think you believe and need in relationship may need to be re-examined for release. That's wherever Sagittarius is hanging out in our energy right now. We all have to do that. And then we have 1, which is the house of self. And this is focusing on what it is that you want, need, and desire for yourself moving forward. And what is it that you're putting out there? What are you calling out to yourself? Because that's what we do in that 1st house. The 1st house is our personality. It's our physical self. What are we putting out there? What are we putting out there? But you need to release something in order to incite this idea of safety. Safety, nurturing, groundedness is really what I wanted to say. Yeah, you need to focus on your 3rd house energy, which is all about Gemini. Gemini is ruled by Mercury. So this is about, it says perception. Yeah, certainly yourself, your perception, your subjective perception of what's going on in this relationship. And you need to really look at that differently. This needs to be communicated about, and something needs to be learned here, because the 3rd house is the landlord is Gemini. Gemini is the student. There's got to be learning that goes on here. So you really need to evaluate, again, going back to that higher power, Cards are very, very in tuned right today. It's pretty incredible. All right, so let's pull first some of my homemade oracles, and then we'll pull some Island Time Wellness. I don't know if I can ever be exactly who you expect me to be. So you may be feeling this, somebody else may be feeling this about you. I don't know how to fix us. Sometimes it just requires putting on a fresh set of glasses, you know. Easier said than done. You've been in my dreams. Pisces. I don't know if I could ever be exactly who you expect me to be. This needs a good conversation with this third house. Really getting that Gemini going. Girl talk. Time with friends, moving on, happily single, living in the moment, having fun. Palm tree. Stability, security, permanence, growth, endurance, flexibility. I could sense what's going on here, but let's just see. Addiction. Codependent, obsession, possession, controlling, has a block, restraint. Yeah. So certainly can be those, you know. Pisces, the archetype, does struggle with addiction. Okay. Now, you know, listen, everybody has their thing. Everybody. None of us escape it. It's part of the human condition. But that is, you know, we have to accept the light side of ourselves as well as the dark potentials that we have, right? For any of our archetypes. Now, none of you Pisces are only Pisces. It's only one house in your room itself, right? But wherever our Pisces hangs, there is this potential for addiction. I mean, that is certainly part of the shadow side of Pisces. The illuminated side is the intuition and the spirituality and just the giving of humanity and the open heart and the sensitivity, and it's just so beautiful. But that is the, you know, because sometimes life is too big for Pisces. It happens. Honesty is essential. Speak with love and truth, Pisces. It may go better than you actually think. I do feel like that. And we have the heart of the matter. There is more going on here than meets the eye. Did I get that for you guys? Maybe, like, I don't know. I forget, but I don't know. I sort of feel like that might have gotten that for somebody. I don't know. Let me just pull a couple of heart oracles, and then we'll pull some tarot. We'll pull some chakra tarot, okay? More going on here than meets the eye. Honesty is essential. Look inside yourself. Examine what is causing you to feel this way. Can you believe this? With the higher power. It's basically what the higher power is saying, right? What are you being pushed to look at? What are you being pushed to look at? Time. You're trying too hard. Give it time. Give it time. Okay. All right. Pull some chakra tarot. Any messages for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus to help us to understand what all these mean? Seems like somebody's trying to move on and they're having a hard time doing it. Trying to convince themselves otherwise. 10 of Cups. Yeah. 2 of Swords. I'm going to pull 4 for the bottom. 1. 10 of Wands. 2 of Coins. We get 2 of Coins, 2 of Swords. Some confusion. We get the World. Most positive card in the deck. And we get 10 of Swords. We have 10 of Wands and 10 of Swords. Now keep in mind, those are minor arcanas, even though they do indicate the end of a cycle. So let's get going. Let's talk about We have the Ten of Cups energy. Ten of Cups is beautiful. I mean, this is about family and contentment, total love, support, deepening of commitment, deepening of communication. This is like really kind of arriving at what you want, because this is a Mars and Pisces, Mars and you guys. And it's like, you know, the warrior planet in there really pushing and rooting and assisting in your dream coming true with whatever this is going on with this connection, really rooting for you here. But we have the Two of Swords. So the Two of Swords does indicate time to compromise and time to make a decision, right? So Pisces, whatever's been going on, there's definitely some energy. If you're resonating with this is an energy that maybe you're not in communication right now, or you guys are in a weird space. You guys have to have the talk. There's got to be compromise, and there has to be a decision made having to do with this connection, because the Two of Swords is being across purposes with yourself, right? But it's a moon in Libra. Moon, as I feel, Libra is that partnership energy. So you're feeling very deeply about this partnership, but you need to bring it to the surface, and you need to make a decision. It needs to happen. Now, we have the Ten of Wands energy, which I'm not mad at all here, because this is about stress, exhaustion, too many burdens, like whatever was happening, it just became too overwhelming. You just have to put it down. But the remedy for this often does have to do with communication. And before I want to do the two bookend energies here. So we have the Ten of Swords. The Ten of Swords is a complete and painful ending, like a rock bottom, like something had to happen that happened in this relationship where it was like somebody felt like there was nowhere else to move, to go, to grow, like getting down to the nitty gritty of what the issues were in the relationship and shining a light on it and saying like, this cannot continue. The lies, the manipulation, the deflection, whatever it is, you know, the half-truths, the this, the that, whatever it is. It got to a point, Mercury and Virgo, it doesn't make sense anymore. It doesn't make sense anymore for it to continue. There's like nothing to even talk about. Like, some sort of truth becomes illuminated and it's inescapable, so things could never go back to being the exact way they were. Doesn't mean that the whole thing has to be over, but it's like, depending on where you're at with this, you know, the light could have been shown on something that your partner did, something that you did that make you, one of you or both of you, feel very uncomfortable. Very uncomfortable. But it's something that either you or your partner were just in a space of saying, you know what, I cannot be in this anymore. The cycle's got to be done. Cycle's got to be done. Okay? Absolutely. But here we are, still needing to make a choice, feeling like there are options. And then we have the World. The World is about completing a goal, completing a lesson rather, really completing a lesson really here is what the situation is. Completing a cycle. The cycle being completed. But now the big question here is Saturn, because this is a Saturn energy. Saturn will always ask, did you act with absolute integrity? Did you? Because if you did not, the gifts aren't going to come. If you did, you were in for some beautiful blessings, right? So whatever had to happen, had to happen. Whatever happened, it was very karmically driven. That's Saturn. Saturn is about restriction, delay, difficulties, challenges, making you look at yourself in the most, you know, and needing to see people in a light that maybe you don't want to see them in, right? And really understanding the deep underbelly of what it is to be in relationship, because it's not all, you know, beauty, roses, butterflies, and unicorns. You know what I mean? It's not. It's not. So you're going to be in a situation where it's like, some of you, okay, this is not going to resonate with all of you, but some of you are going to be in a space where it's like, all right, this is it, sink or swim. I'm either going to let myself be 100% vulnerable, expect this from them too, and just really try to work this relationship out the best that I can, and in a new way, in a different way, with integrity and honesty, putting it all out on the table, even though maybe you've been saying you haven't been, right? Or them doing the same thing. Or a lot of you might be just saying, you know what? Can't do it. I can't do it. Like, that might be the decision that you're making. You may be making the decision with this Two of Swords energy, right? Even though it's time to compromise, does tell me there's an energy of compromise. You're making a decision. Now, some of you making this decision could be making it going the other way, away from the energy, for a couple of reasons. One, you're scared. You're too scared to engage in all of this. This is scary stuff. It is, absolutely, because this means going, like, seriously swimming in the deep end, right? Swimming in the deep end. which you guys are. I mean, you guys are the oldest water sign, right? So, I mean, you're the most mature, most wise water sign. But even for a Pisces, it's not comfortable. It's not comfortable for anybody. Nobody's above that. So for some of you, that's what it's going to be. Others of you, you're just not going to want to deal with it. You're just not. Now, others of you are going to be making the decision, I'm going to compromise. I'm going to do this because I want this 10 of Cups with this person. And we're going to figure this out together. Even though somebody doesn't know how to fix it, you guys have probably been dreaming about each other. Somebody feels like they're not enough. That could be feeding into the addiction. Addiction doesn't have to mean literal addiction. It could certainly mean imbalance, right? Any kind of imbalance, it's an issue. But we see here that there is something more going on here than meets the eye, and somebody needs to be more honest about, what's going on here. So if you guys can together as a couple say that that cycle is done. Come clean with the honesty with the 10 of Swords. They come clean to you. Whoever did it, maybe you have to come clean to each other. But when you guys do that, then you get the most amazing blessings of the world energy, because nobody gives better blessings than Saturn, believe it or not, even though he's known as the Great Malefic, because his blessings last for decades and decades long. They do. Ask anyone who has gone through a seriously challenging Saturn period. After the period passes and things have a time to settle in, the gifts and the realizations that happen during that period change the rest of your life. It's not like a one and done kind of thing, like a Jupiter energy. So, I mean, I think that from that perspective, this is so healthy, Pisces, if you allow it to be. And if somebody is going to allow themselves to be, the energy is supporting this, is really what I want to say. It's here. If you don't want to get back with this person, don't. The energy does not, you're not a puppet. You're an energetic being. You don't have to engage. But the energy does support. If there's honesty and integrity from everybody involved here, it does seem like something that you thought could not be saved can be saved. These are very strong energies with a very strong, very powerful crowning energy here. So that is what I have for you guys. I hope this was helpful in some way. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.